Hello, friends. I thought today we'd talk about Psychubes. Now, you might be wondering, why has Phased gone and brought us more slides? Well, I've been doing a lot of editing, and uh, not that you've seen it, but I've I've finished the Robuska review, and I'm about 90% done with another video that I'm working on, which is for archetypes. Um, the meta archetypes, explaining all the archetypes that we have in the game up until patch 3.2, has been something that I've been working on. Um, but I was gonna make a video nonetheless on Psychubes at some point or another, but this team, the CN team, has gone ahead and published a video on Bilibili yesterday, right? So we're gonna go through their top 10 list real quick. They actually did a Psychube translation for, or a tier list for 52 of the Psychubes, but a lot of it is redundant stuff. This is mainly aimed towards the sort of newer players, right? Players that don't have all the currency they need in order to have all the Psychubes, etc. I think most veterans either have all the Psychubes or they understand which are the prioritized Psychubes, right? So a little bit more about this team. This is the Rainy Strategy team, and they're the team on CN. It consists of like 7 to 9 members, right? They're the team on CN that do all the speed runs, right? They've set all the records for speed runs, and yeah, they've been doing it since patch 2.7. They said that they're going to stop at patch 3.2 because it's so time constraining and stuff. So if you didn't know, the actual nuances of a speed run is quite significant because they go into it on the heel of a new patch, right? So every patch differs. Every patch's Euphoria characters differ. Obviously, those would be the general stuff, but then they have to use the banners, right, that the patch provides. So they might be pulling for a long time. There's a lot of RNG involved. They have to like reset their accounts. They have to unbind all their accounts. They maybe even have to buy accounts because their phones are all like at max accounts, right? You can only have like 5 hooked up on China's on CN servers, right? So there's a myriad of complications that they deal with, and on top of that, they have to then grind like content like 3 doors and window to the other worlds. Really time consuming stuff, and then to pull again at sometimes in order to draw like their missing piece, and hopefully everything falls into place together. So when you say when you like read like it took them 10 days or it took them 5 days, there's a lot more nuance behind it. They're all like exceptionally good players that have been figuring out the most efficient ways to do reveries for the longest time. It's like 7 people now. I think like a few of them dropped out or have stopped, but they surprisingly released a Psychube video, and I thought we might look into that. It's a little long-winded, but obviously my goal with my channel is there's no monetary incentive involved. My goal is to provide you with data, right? There's just so much misinformation on the global servers, and when I use the Chinese data that I use, from the players that I get the data from, they've been vetted by a large number of these other Chinese players, whether it be community rep or like whales themselves or data analysts on specific game forums. It all is it's not just like, oh, you heard it on a Reddit post or something, or you read it on a Reddit post, or somebody offhandedly said it on Discord or something, right? So there's that. So I've even arranged a I've arranged a meeting with or an interview with a pretty famous analyst on CN. At least I don't know if how far his influence is on CN itself, but I know that his influence on um, the global community. I'm not just talking about the English speaking community, but the Japanese as well as the Korean community. His influence is pretty enormous, and his name is Ice Hood, and he does all the data calculations, the portrait stuff. I get a ton of questions about this on YouTube, actually. Like, where do you get your information from? Well, he's one of the core sources. He and another person named Mika do a lot of this data analyst stuff, and they are who influence a lot of the global players, actually. So, set up a nice interview with him, and I'm trying to get in contact with this Rainy team to talk about the sort of like strategy behind 500 meters and kind of what their experiences are like. And yeah, so there's a couple things I have lined up that are pretty interesting for people who care about this stuff, right? So going into the Psychubes, right? Let's now, sorry, my graphics card potatoing. Okay. Let's see. Before we start, I think the criteria that they judge or they made this tier list on is like sort of like the team's versatility, team's ranking in the meta, like the Psychube owners ranking in the meta, as well as sort of the universality or the versatility of the Psychube itself, right? The more people or the more characters that can use and share a Psychube in a Reverie setting, the more value it has for them. So with that in mind, I was a little shocked for this first one, right? I've gone in and image translated it, so it's not going to be super accurate, and it's font's going to look a little weird, but this is just taking their video that they released on Bilibili and just translating it so we can get a look at it without being very confused. So for Adito Coda, which is Barcarola's Psychube, right? Let's see what they said. The versatility of the Revelation team, which is the impromptu team, the members / any support role is difficult to measure. So I think they're mainly referring to the versatility of characters like Kiparina and characters like Flutterpage, right? Who can both they both can utilize this. Obviously, this can be utilized by Barcarola, by any other impromptu DPS if you don't have Barcarola. So yeah, I guess there is merit to it. It's just a little shocking that it's in the top 10 when there's like 52 6-star Psychubes, right? This video only consisted of 6-star Psychubes, so I added some 5 stars at the end there, but for the most part, this is just about 6 stars. For playing the impromptu team, it's recommended to buy or max out. Yeah, a couple of you are either on the fence about finishing your impromptu team, right? If you're missing Aleph or Kiparina, then I would say hold off on it. But if you're missing Barcarola and you can grab her from the Golden Skein, right? Golden Skein 1, I think you can grab her from. Then I would suggest that you do so if you have Aleph and Kiparina, especially. For anything other than that, if you're trying to build it from scratch, then no, that'll be a hard pass in most circumstances. Let's see what they said. The mind image has an incredibly powerful mechanism capable of summoning impromptu spells and increasing attack frequency. Unfortunately, these stats are too low when outside of the team's composition, and the impromptu team is currently in a weak position. However, it remains absolutely core unit. It remains this Psychube, they're saying, is an absolute core unit to the team. And so if you're playing the impromptu team, maxing it out is highly recommended. So I don't know if a lot of you that are even playing, I'm sure the veterans do, but a lot of sort of like novices or people that don't engage in a lot of like theory crafting even know how strong Bakurola's Psychube is, but it is very, very good for the impromptu team. But I don't think there's too much. Yeah, so obviously this image here displays the so Psychube stats are separated into like strengths and weaknesses, right? Obviously you look at attack first, and then you look at life, and then you look at the defenses, and then you look at what bonuses they have. So this is obviously highly favored towards just an all-out like attack kind of Psychube, right? So it can't be universally used, but if you're running the impromptu team, very, very good to have. Top 9, Elizabeth Psychube, right? Never ending Q&A. This is a ultimate team focused Psychube, right? That has universality in all the ultimate characters, whether it be 5-star characters or 6 stars. Any ritual or any ultimate main DPS has excellent versatility in using this. Development suggestions recommended for exchange, training, amplification. I mean, if you got it for free while this event was running, then great. I'm sure you've used it sometime or another, but it remains very strong if you have a limited number of Psychubes. What they're not talking about is actually, I mean, this value here, right? This 210 or 300 thoughts of eternity. I think that's what it's called. If you're weighing the currency and you're limited on the number of thoughts of eternity you have, then I would not be picking up any of these Psychubes just yet. I'm just talking about the strengths of it, but I don't know if you want to be grabbing anything here just yet, though. Obviously, this isn't my opinion. This is the opinion of this speedrunning, or this from the free to play, starting from 0 all the way to 500 meters, and the latest one was done in 5 days, which is kind of insane, right? The ultimate image is universally applicable, but the ultimate team is dying out. It would be better to create one that anyone can use. Additionally, like the big entertainment event, this heart of... Okay, so it's talking about the channeling bug with Anjanala, where Anjanala is really like the talk of the town at the moment because of her rise in 3.2 with Broom. Because Anjanala goes into a channeling state, she can't make use of a lot of these ultimate focused Psychubes. They just don't interact with her in the way that they read, right? Okay, moving on to top 8, another ultimate Psychube. Family Mentor is Moldier's Psychube, right? It's a beast support Psychube. I think it has something to do with crit damage and... yeah, crit damage focused Psychube. Let's see what they say. Oh my god, it's so tiny. For ritual team players, it's recommended to exchange or enhance. I think the versatility of the Psychube has not reached its full potential because of how short-lived the Ultimate Team's life cycle was, right? And lasted like one patch pretty much, right? I mean, if you count global, then it's even shorter than that because Assassin's Creed came and just swept everything. So Recoleta just didn't get any play. But this Psychube remains very good. It can be used on like on Moldier, obviously, but then it could be used on Melania, right? It says here it can be used in the Ultimate Team with Melania, and Medicine Pocket can perform very well. So this is one that might rise in power. We are getting 2 Beast of latest units in 3.3. I know there's a lot of speculation on what sort of archetype they're going to be belonging to. I kind of hope that they revitalize the ultimate archetype in some way, but with how Broom released, right? We'll see. Because obviously, I know a lot of people want there to be growth in the Lingering Glow team, right? It's the flagship archetype that they're pumping, but it got overshadowed by the support unit for a standard banner character in the form of Corvus, right? So things are a little topsy-turvy over there. So I'm sure if it was, there is high likelihood that it's going to be Lingering Glow, but I think Igor might have something to do with the Ultimate team. We'll see. Okay, so yeah, I think we've talked enough about that one. Top 7, Karan Psychube. Kind of an interesting top 7 as well. So far, it's been pretty interesting. Buds yet to bloom. So applicable roles: Karan and the support role when using the Dynamo team with the Spirit of Wisdom. With the Spirit of Wisdom have very low verse. Okay, so I'm guessing that they mean that because it specifically deals with a Spirit of latest character that also has to do with the Dynamo team. It's very, very limited in its versatility and its scope. But the fact that it's top 7 should indicate why it's here, because it's that strong, right? And the rise of the Dynamo team with Broom, like bringing in basically like 3 different Dynamo teams by herself, right? We have Lucy, we have Corvus's team, and then we have 3 different Broom teams if you include a Corvus Broom hybrid, right? Corvus Broom, and then you have Broom with God, I hate saying Broom so many times, but Broom with Ulrich and Karan, and then Broom with Anjanala, which is the current best performing P0 team in the game at the moment, and even best performing like P5 team as well. So yeah, what more is there to say? A complete power team, complete Dynamo team is recommended to purchase the boost. I don't know what that implication alludes to. Obviously, this is machine translated stuff. It's not super accurate. I would take more time, obviously, when I'm presenting more nuanced data to translate it correctly. But this we just kind of have to infer the wishes or the thoughts, I guess. The standard 24 burst support is very suitable for Karan's signature weapon. I think what they're referring to is like when Karan's round, or when the Dynamo team's round ends, right? Karan does that follow-up attack. I think they're talking about that because it interacts with the damage portion of the channeling aspect of the spirit character. So it's hyper specific to Karan. The electricity team or the Dynamo team is quite strong. Recommended that players with a complete Dynamo team max it out. Yeah, it is very, very good in providing the increased crit damage, 24% of it, which is kind of a big deal. And it's also not too expensive compared to the 300s up top here, but maybe because they've just been out for a while, and they also like pertain to main DPS roles usually, so there is that. So top 6. Sorry, I'm kind of like losing my voice for some reason. Top 6 is Aurora After Winter. It's Kiparina's Psychube, and Garland is Kiparina. And any Starflatus unit has excellent versatility, right? So it can be used on basically any impromptu character, right? I would think like Kiparina, Flutter Page would be another big one. Voyager would be a big one. Maybe Regulus as well. Maybe not Regulus, but yeah, very good, very solid support. Psychube, I would rank it even slightly higher, but only if you have both Kiparina and Flutterpage, right? Okay. The enduring popular combination of meat and support items, along with the current. Okay, so this translation is kind of cooked. So, roll for both Kiparina and Flutterpage makes this item still quite valuable. So the thing is, while this is good, it kind of has gotten power crept by a 5-star Psychube that just came out in 3.2. It's Matilda's Psychube, and that's more universally used because it provides incantation might. But it is still a very good Psychube if you already own it. Obviously, it provides life that goes hand in hand with a support role. Let's see. When the user goes, okay, so that's the effects. I think we can move on from this one. The trend of these tier lists will tend to be surrounding the meta units, and because Kiparina is tier 0, and because Flutterpage is tier 0, the Psychubes that they interact with, obviously we'll see a lot higher scores, right? Okay. Now, from top 5 onwards, I would recommend any new player to kind of have this in mind, that you're going for these Psychubes, because they're very, very important, right? So third commitment, I would personally place third commitment a little bit higher than top 5. I would maybe place it in top 3, but let's see what they said. Any spell array can be used as an auxiliary, making it extremely versatile. Right, yeah. So it interacts with the spell array verbiage, right? And so if your support has that verbiage, then you can use this all the way, and a lot of characters do, especially for the highest performing meta teams. So recommended for all players to exchange, train, and enhance. It's very, very good. With a respectable 2.8k HP and 16% HP life on top of that. So it's like 16% your base stat life, right? And an effect of plus 12 double damage. Because it gives, at max, it gives it gives like 12% incantation might, and then it gives 12% ultimate might, right? 2 extremely, really, really good multipliers. Its support capabilities are quite formidable. Currently, most mainstream team compositions, except for the Lingering Glow and Impromptu, have a core support with a spell array, making the Psychube far superior to Lopera herself. It's highly recommended that all players exchange for it and fully amplify it. If you're short on globes, if you're short on the EXP material, you can consider using it at level 50, right? So very, very important Psychube. I'm sure everybody that has played this game for, a couple of months will know that by now. So top 4. Interesting. GU Psychube. Right, GU Psychube is a follow-up attack. Crit. Is it a crit damage or a crit rate? I think it might be both. Okay. A single target extra action output character with extremely high versatility. So applicable to basically all follow-up characters if they're your main DPS, right? Recommended for all players who already own the second-hand habitat. I think that's the translation's a little wonky, but I think it's in reference to Flutterpage's Psychube, right? Flutterpage is on the Hand of Time, and I think the machine translated into into secondhand habitat. Because it is the spoiler, but best Psychube in the game. The super transcendental and versatile heart, okay, is still incredibly versatile and boasts extremely generous stats, even though Jiu has been out of the meta for a while. In the long run, its benefits are comparable to the Hand of Time. If you could only choose one, obviously you would choose Flutter Page's Psychube first. So another interesting thing to note that it is 300 Thoughts of Eternity. So, 90 more expensive. That's 9 days, right, for some people. So that is something to take into account. But if you already have that Flutter Pages and you're looking to get another one, I don't know where you would need another one, because I think hers accomplishes everything for the most part within our current meta, that is. Okay, moving on. Hold on. Sorry, graphics card likes to really potato sometimes. Top 3 now. This is another kind of surprising one, but it makes sense in the context of a speedrunner's point of view. The Embrace of the Past is Nautica's Psychube, right? Character requiring a HP-based build, dealing significant damage with high HP, generally versatile, right? Because it gives HP upon HP, and then it gives more HP when the character is of the Spirit of Flatus, right? So, recommended for all players to exchange and train for. If you have Nautica, consider amplifying it, right? It is Nautica's best in slot, obviously, and it also goes hand in hand with her damage. More HP she has, more survivability she has, but also more damage. More of everything just from HP. So this is a super powerful character with the highest HP, extremely high attack, and the lowest defense. Yeah, this is focused purely on giving life and attack, because Nautica obviously has a lot of inherent passive defenses or array-based defenses that she gains. So let's see. The Heart Affinity, or the Psychube's effect, is also quite generous, making it a very good exclusive weapon. I recommend every player train one. If you have Nautica, you can feed it, you can amplify it with the Gluttony. Otherwise, you can save the Gluttony if you don't have Nautica, right? But in general, what you want to be using the Psychube for, obviously, if you don't have Nautica, would be to, when you're cheesing reveries or when you're trying to push reverie stages with not a lot of 6 stars on hand, what you would do is you would usually use your 4 stars and your 5 stars and have them enhanced to Insight 2 at the, I guess, the maximum, because you're already dealing with limited resources, right? And so this Psychube goes a long way in order to provide that extra amount of HP that's needed to overcome the gimmicks, because those characters are used solely for the purpose of providing a specific niche to overcome a mechanic or a gimmick, right? Moving on. Top 2. Now, this is a very important one that everybody should know about. Don't overlook this Psychube, because it is one of the best Psychubes in the game. It releases with 3.1. Obviously, it's Robusca's signature Psychube. The interesting thing about the Psychube is that, you know how like we have the 3.0 event going on right now, where it's like a main story event. So the event reward itself is tied to when we spend energy in any way, right? We get a bit of currency towards the main story event, and we can use it in the shop to buy like Sentinel was it Sentinel? Sentinel Psychube and stuff, right? That's not the case in 3.1. You have to go into the event story itself and go to the shop and buy it there. I think it's like 8,000 of whatever the currency name is. So don't sleep on this. Even if you don't get Robuska, this is an extremely important Psychube. So let's read about it. Characters requiring a flesh and heart type body. And any support character with unparalleled... Okay, flesh and heart type body. What does that mean? Either mineral or or it could be anyone that needs to amp up their HP, or any sort of support character. It brings unparalleled versatility, right? The suggestions being that all players exchange and train and enhance this one. Oh god. With an incredibly powerful stat sheet, it boasts the tankiest portrait, not portrait. I love defaulting to portraits. Tankiest Psychube in the entire game. Its support effects provide an astonishing 24% ritual power. Now, this is a part of what makes it huge. So 24% ultimate might is okay. So Robuska in her base kit provides like so she has something called dang, I just did the freaking video. Her stacks that she needs to build up, everybody needs to build up, right? When she ults, they all lose a chunk of it, right? 3 characters lose their... God, this is gonna drive me insane. Their shadow stacks, and then that gets transferred to the main DPS, the target of her ult, right? That tallied together with all the crit and ultimate might that it provides, it doesn't equal to 20, right? Even with the highest stat Robuska, maybe yeah, even with the highest stat available on Robuska, I mean, if we don't include Resonance 15, taking like Resonance 10 as like a base value, even at Resonance 10, level 60, full enhanced Psychube, etc., you would only get like 19% ultimate might. So this Psychube alone brings that much plus some more. So it's an incredible Psychube, but on top of that, it gives life, right? Base life. And then on top of that, it gives healing rate, right? Healing rate is incredibly strong for a character that, like Robuska, that cannot crit. Like all but one of her skills, only her ult can crit in her healing. So healing rate becomes extremely important in scaling up her healing even further. And yeah, very, very important Psychube. You should be trying to get this as soon as possible, level it up, use it, but also feed your gluttonies into it as well, right? What else? Must have. Okay, so it's a must-have in mainstream teams like Blood Tithe and Dynamo, and it's also used in other ultimate teams, right? Its cost effectiveness is amazing. Unfortunately, okay, so another reason why you need to get it in 3.1 is that the Psychube goes away and it comes back later on, right? In like 3.3. So new players who started can't get it at the moment. So it's very important to pick this up. Yeah. Don't grab like other more expensive stuff like gluttonies. Prioritize this, even if you're not getting Robuska. I hope that I'm trying to make it as clear as possible for any of the players that are free to play, right? You're going to be limited on your energy, right? If you're farming materials, you won't be able to accrue the currency and so on. I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah. And to no one's surprise, the top Psychube is On the Hand of Time, which is Flutterpage's signature Psychube, right? It is It provides so much strength to the main DPS of a follow-up that is of a follow-up attack variety, right? Which is basically everyone, making it extremely versatile. Recommended for all players. I mean, if you didn't know this, you should be dropping everything and buying the Psychube and then leveling it up and then dumping all your gluttonies into it. That should be your first priority. This is the Psychube to go. And the reason why its position is like even more solidified is because the channeling portion, right? That interacts with like a character like Ulrich, but now it interacts with a character like Broom, who is the strongest character in the game at the moment. That's why this Psychube's position will be solidified for a little while longer. New players are highly recommended to collect 210 Thoughts of Eternity and so on. Okay. So I added two more pages just so everybody's on the same page. Now, this one, you might be wondering why I put this one here, because it's Argus's Psychube, right? But this part of its, the effect of it is actually interacting in a bugged manner. Sorry about that. So taking Ezio into account for a follow-up Ezio build, this is like the strongest Psychube, I believe. It's currently bugged because it should be providing the crit damage, and then it should be removed, and then it should also have the incantation might of the next extra action be removed as well, right? But the thing is, when Ezio counters, that thing isn't removed at all, so it gets the full value every freaking time, making follow-up Ezio very, very strong if he uses this, right? I don't know if a lot of people would still be running follow-up Ezio. Currently the best Ezio build is obviously Ultimate Ezio with Getian, but Poison Ezio and follow-up Ezio are kind of neck and neck, but they are a second nonetheless. They Poison and follow-up will depend on different conditionals and who pulls ahead and who doesn't, right? But there it is. If you didn't know, now you know. Okay, so the video didn't talk about any 5 stars, but sort of these are the ones that I would classify as being worthy of leveling and dumping your, I think they're greeds, right? Greeds into. So amplifying it is what I'm trying to say. So the first one would be Falling for Sweet Phenomenon, right? And this one's interaction with star characters, crit, yeah, that's all fine. The primary reason why you're taking this is because of the Genesis damage increase that can be stacked, making it the best in slot Psychube, obviously for a character like Ezio, like Poison Ezio. I know a lot of you are looking forward to playing Poison Ezio. If you're not playing with a Tuesday variant already, you're looking to get Tuesday from your Skeen and to play Poison Ezio, then obviously you want to have this Psychube ready to go. But another reason why this Psychube is very important is because if you're playing, especially for Reveries, if you're playing your Plant Afflatus team, right, is playing a Poison build instead of the rank up build, right? Poison is the way to go if you want to cheese. This is the best in slot for a character like Jessica, who would be the one to perform the said cheese of the plant-based stages. So Jessica Elizabeth can basically clear, I mean, Jessica alone can clear basically everything, but Jessica Elizabeth basically solidifies that, and they can clear all of Reveries, or I mean, all the plant-based stages of Reveries at the moment. So this is one to definitely use if you're looking to sort of if you have a weaker team but you have access to Jessica, definitely get this. Now the next one is one with the flow is Mercuria's 5-star Psychube. She has a 5-star and a 6-star, and the 5-star actually performs better than the 6-star. What it does is it interacts with force fields and gives you a chance to gain Moxie, and it isn't exclusive to Mercuria herself. It can be used on characters like anyone with force fields or hidden force fields, right? You always want to be testing for that when a new character comes out. So like Melania or Tuesday. Can't think of anything else at the moment, but okay. Well, very, very good Psychube. If you're running if you're running Mercuria, definitely think about using this one. It has good value when you're dumping your greeds into it. And then the next one, I just put your friendly exorcist in here because this is Druvis's go-to for her Psychube. It's a 5-star, and it just brings that damage to the plant afflatus team, right? Very good, still very relevant 5-star Psychube. And then the last one is Sotheby's 5-star Psychube, and wow, I don't know if you guys heard that, but dang, it's really thundering out there. The carrier gains healing done, obviously, at the start of the round if it's in the cure status. So this cure status verbiage can be overcome with like the plant myth as well. The myth manifest can give you the cure buff, right? And so you can use it. You can use this poison effect damage dealt increase portion as well as the damage reduction portion on freaking a poison character like the Elizabeth Jessica comp that I was alluding to. Okay, I hope that that served some benefit. And let me just see what the damage is. Oh my god, why is it 42 minutes? Leave a comment if that helped, dislike if it didn't, and let me know like what other sort of like bits and pieces of data that you would like to know more of. Yeah, just leave a comment for stuff that you're unsure of, that there's just like a lot of misinformation on the socials out there that just people like to really chirp without doing any sort of testing. It's just like, oh, I heard it from this guy, and then it just kind of spreads. So more clarification, everybody on the same foot, going forward. That's the kind of environment I want to bring. I don't want to gatekeep information. If there's questions you want me to ask a person like Icehood, or a person like, or the people in the Rainy Strategy team, or another analyst called Mika, just let me know, right? That's it for me. Till next time.